Beats by Trill, straight Killerville, dog.
What's good? What's good? We are back. Another live for Fayettenam Saturday. I'm the one and only Paul Masson, joined by Illinois Tracks.
What's up? We bike. What's good?
Chilling, man. You got what you got over there? You got some Dizzle? You drinking Dizzle?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm trying it different, man. I put some Simply lemonade and some lime. You know what I'm saying? A little fancy over here. You know what I'm saying? The lime slices and shit. This shit's good though.
Yeah, lime and Dizzle is always supposed to be like a go-to, anyways. I see everybody always putting lime in it if you just drink it straight up or any kind of way, really.
Nah, I ain't drinking it straight up no more. I learned my lesson last night.
So, waiting on Lily Enos to come back on. I see her camera set up and whatnot. She came on earlier. She should come on back on any minute. I definitely told her 5 p.m. and whatnot. There she goes. So we about to get into it. Normally we just do the music reviews, but we're gonna start bringing on artists, and we got to review your music before we bring you on too. If we don't review the music, we're not gonna bring you on, until then. But we're gonna bring on an artist straight from Jersey, alternative pop artist. She's got a new single that dropped on May 22nd, Arena, and let's bring her on, Lily Enos.
Thanks for having me.
Lily, how you doing? Let's
I'm
put
doing
you on
well,
the big
guys.
screen.
Yeah, all right, all right.
Put you on the
thanks
big
again,
screen.
guys, for having me. I'm doing great. How about you guys?
We can't complain.
Yeah, I want to bring it up. That video you did, I like that video you did, and I want to blame it on Paul for not playing the song too long. He didn't play it long enough. Yeah.
No. I was so
funny.
afraid of what the reaction was going to be to that, because I didn't want it to give sore loser vibes. If anything, I always feel good about when my music is platformed in any way. It's not about whether people like it or not like it. You have to kind of put your ego to the side with that. But I think we really live now in such a content creation era. It's a content dependent world now. And if you guys didn't have people's music submitted to you, you wouldn't have your content. Just as so you have to kind of create a reciprocal sort of relationship with that content that gets made, and think, okay, how do I get ahead of the narrative if I want people to know something about my song, or I want them to know, a sweet spot of a song, how do you get ahead of that narrative and do something with that? So that was really all I was trying to do, in a stupid kind of way. And I'm glad you guys liked it.
I liked it. I responded first to it. I liked it. Because it did. Exactly what we were talking about happened. If we would have stayed listening to it for 15 more seconds. You know what I'm saying? The one critique we gave, it happened 15 seconds later. But I appreciate it though. It was funny to me.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
I love it.
And let me throw this out there. It wasn't my fault, because Illinois Tracks is actually the one that made it start not playing the whole song.
Oh, okay. You guys
used to play the whole songs. I gotta throw that out there. I gotta throw that out there. But which makes sense though. Because we started getting so many submissions, and we had to kind of, maybe the verse and the hook, and that's it. But let's get into some standard questions. How long you been recording and releasing music now?
So it's been a while. As far as I always sort of try to break it up into what was substantial versus not, so I've been recording demos on GarageBand and Audacity way back from when I was a preteen, a teenager, and playing music even longer than that. And then, just with persistence and just making an ass of myself and trying to put things out there over time, I learned how to sort of hone in that power of, the digital streaming platforms, and trying to go bigger and really build upon that. So it's been years. It's been since I was a kid.
And I seen you played multiple instruments. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a jack of all trades, master of none type of thing. My main weapon of choice is guitar and vocal, and but from a songwriting standpoint, a lot of instruments are tools. So, I'll lay down some very simple bass or kind of finagle on synths and keys, and try and build songs that way.
Okay. The new single, Arena. We're gonna review the whole song after this interview. What's the inspiration for the song?
So, I wrote Arena when I was pretty young. I mean, I was like 17, 18 when I wrote that song. And really, about it's a song about cat fights. It's a song about when I was in high school, I would see I would see girls fight over guys.
Oh, okay.
And it was kind of me taking the piss out on that phenomenon, and the sort of the gravitas, and you have this really dramatic song with this big climax in it, but really it's speaking to something that's very minuscule in the long term. And really too, when I was that age, I had my first ever boyfriend, and it was, that time of, it was a coming of age type of thing. So really there's an irony in it, as far as being no better than the people that you stick your nose up to or make fun of.
They got a whole
Okay.
saying for that. I can't think of it right now, but they got a whole saying for that.
Who's some of the artists that you looked up to or still might look up to?
It's a lot, I think it's a mixed bag, and I'm blessed that I was exposed to a lot of different musicians growing up. And I mean, as far as specifically, I absolutely love the classics. I love the 70s, I love the 60s, the 80s, like Olivia Newton-John, Carole King, James Taylor. I love Motown. I've been falling down a chic rabbit hole lately, because they do so much more than Le Freak, and I always have this Philly radio station on that plays R&B and soul. And then as far as more contemporary acts, when you get into the 90s and the aughts, I love Radiohead, I love Bjork, I love Travis. So it's a mixed bag. We'd be here forever.
Yeah, I mean, I can hear a lot of the influence, like early '70s and '80s and some of your music. Like I said, Retaliation is my favorite song so far.
Yeah, thank you.
I've been listening to. It's been Lily Day in the house, so yeah. But Retaliation is my favorite song so far. And I mean, I haven't even cracked through all the ones that's on YouTube or whatever. But first of all, say to me, you got an amazing voice. I mean, you're an amazing writer.
Well, thank
And
you.
my thing is, like in your writing process, I mean, you sort of answered it though. I was like, where do you draw? Where do you draw from? I mean, personal experience or whatever. But you just said you wrote that one song when you were 17. So I guess you answered my question right there. So I guess you do write from personal experiences.
Yeah, for sure. I think that sometimes, and I noticed this when I was a lot younger, and I've spoken to this in other interviews and opportunities I've gotten to talk to people through, that when I was younger, I think I used to try and write in a very specific mindset, and I took where inspiration needed to come from far more seriously. And now, it's okay to write a happy song. It's okay to write a sad song. It's okay to write a song that doesn't take itself very seriously. So it's just being open to everything and letting the mundane inspire you sometimes.
Yes, and well, shout out to Winding Way Records. And how did you end up signing with them?
Persistence, really, in all seriousness, I'm not sure if you guys know what Submit Hub is, but
Yeah, I'm familiar with Submit Hub.
yeah. So back a couple years ago, they still allowed record labels to run on there to try
Okay.
and find artists. And I was pitching songs. I had made a cover of Never My Love by the Association. And I just did that in my bedroom, and I pitched it to a bunch of different playlists, including Winding Way. And they had gotten back to me and they liked it, but they, obviously being a label, they want to hear original work. And so um, I just tried to keep at it. And then I put out an EP in November of 2022, and I was recording more professionally up all through that year, using like session musicians, actually going into a studio and using other producers to help kind of make sense of what I was trying to do. And I was submitting those songs to people on Submit Hub and Winding Way again, and they liked what they heard. And then a year after that, I went to an open mic in Philly where the head of the label did this guest speaking spot. And there was a bit of a, you had to kind of finesse it, because um a lot of people, they think, oh, record label, and they flock to this one person that they think is just going to make all their dreams come true and make everything great for them. And I didn't want to be just another desperate person, and so I tried to play it cool and kind of wait for everybody to go away. I went up to him and I just was like, I was that girl that sent you Never My Love and another song. And he actually had reached out to me over Instagram around that time, and I had no idea, and he thought that I like kind of snubbed him off, which was not my intention. And but it just to get a face to a name. And after a few more open mics where he was hanging around, we talked more and felt like we were compatible, and I was signed.
So, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are you trying to accomplish?
um
What are you looking for in music? What are you trying to accomplish in music?
I mean, ideally, songwriting is where it's at, and I would
Yes.
love to be more involved in that world as a songwriter,
Oh,
and
yes.
if my own performances and what I do as a recording artist makes any kind of, headway, then that's great. But really, I think that just working within the industry in any capacity, if it means, supporting other people in that creative process and writing with them and, producing with them, is definitely something I would like to see happen down the line.
Okay, so, and then on top, I mean, this is completely random, but like when you're in the studio, what's the vibe has to be? You know what I'm saying? What is the vibe has to be in the studio for you to? You mean
So,
like?
I mean, it's a lot of noodling around. It's a lot of spontaneity. It's there is a level of preparedness that has to go into it. Of
Yeah.
course, I'll bring stems and bring files and things to kind of help build upon that. But it's a lot of, starting at one point and then ending up with something completely different, and ideally better than what you started with. And I have the good fortune of, the label's headquarters has a recording studio in it. So I go there basically almost every weekend, and I torture the engineer. He can't get rid of me. And and we spend hours. I hold him hostage to what I think should be done. And but it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with it. I think we have a certain synergy, and we think very similarly and have a very similar creative process. And we we complement each other as far as getting things done. So it's a great experience. The vibe is great.
Okay. Any shows coming up in
Yeah,
the area?
actually, yeah.
Hey, as
So
long as it ain't Philadelphia. I went to Philadelphia a month ago and I got about $100 in tolls and stuff.
oh my God. Well,
Yeah, I live in
I got
DC,
some
so
sorry news for you because that's where I am most of the time. But
man,
I do have outside of Philly, there's in more of the burbs kind of area, there's a winery that I'm playing at tomorrow at 2, Evansburg Vineyards in Collegeville, Pennsylvania. And all of my other upcoming performances are actually on my social media, on my Instagram at Enos Official. They're there. There's a tour list of upcoming events that people can check out.
I'm gonna definitely make it a point to come to one of them. Like I said, I'm in the DC area, so I'm not far from New Jersey and Philadelphia.
Oh,
So
that's sick.
yeah, one day you're gonna see me in the audience.
Yeah, well, that's really sweet. Thank you.
Anything else,
Lily, I
Paul?
was noticing, like you do a lot of your shows in Pennsylvania. Is that because the label's based out of Pennsylvania?
Yeah, and I do think that there's definitely more of a scene, an independent music scene in Philly than there is in Jersey for sure. So, you kind of start out small because I haven't played out very much in the course of my music career. It's been a lot of kind of a very I've taken a very hermit kind of approach where it's very studio and it's very trying to build a catalog of work. And then the next step is putting a face to a name. So, we do that on the micro level of, just kind of hitting spots in Philly and the greater Philadelphia area, um, and just trying to connect with people a little bit more in that way.
Well, I'm King Hermit. Anybody that knows me, I'm like I spend all day, online promote music, podcasting, clipping up content.
Can't
But
you tell? You don't get no
yeah,
sun. I mean, like, go outside. That door at the front of your house
Yeah,
leads
I
outside.
I feel that. I feel
It
that.
leads outside,
but
Paul. Get some
Burn on a
sun.
moment's notice.
we got to get into these music reviews. So before we let you go, anybody you want to shout out, and we're gonna definitely review your song first, and we're gonna play the whole song while we review it.
Well, I just want to shout you guys out and thank you for,
Appreciate it.
just being part of giving people a platform and doing what you guys do. And shout out Winding Way Records for the opportunity to do the work that I do. So thank you.
Well, we
Yes, ma'am.
appreciate you joining us. If you want to come back on next time you drop another single, you're more than welcome. You're a
Well,
friend of the
absolutely.
show.
Well, thank you so much. You guys have a great night.
I'm gonna see
All
you in the
right,
audience
thank
one
you.
day.
All
Lily
right.
Enos, people.